Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Ladies Listen Up with my co-host, Mr. Cherrard. Sir, how are you today?
I am good.
Before we introduce I don't know if we're swimming today. I think we're swimming through this topic. That's what I think we're doing. Before we before we throw the what is it, the net or whatever it is in the swimming pool over to your court, don't forget everybody, like, share, and subscribe. The optimal word meaning share. Share this information with someone else. And especially today's topic. I mean, for today, we're talking about wedding etiquette. And this is going to be an explosive topic. Make sure you stay to the end because we all know, especially, I don't know what happened during the COVID time or shutdown. Everybody's getting married now. What do
Hey,
you think that's all about?
I don't know. I guess everybody feel I don't want to get sick and die with no insurance, and he got some or she got some.
That would be your take on it. I mean, why can't it be just love is in the air? It's a
it,
blossoming.
it
It's
ain't no
never
love in the
that hard.
air. COVID done exposed a lot of the love that ain't love. It's just like, man, we only together because we pay the bills together, right? That's it. You work afternoons, I work mornings, and they force us to be together. And I really don't like you, but you pay bills on time. You know what I'm
That's what it
saying?
is.
You good at paying bills.
But then now they're getting married though, Sherrod. Folks are having. I mean, this weddings are in the
No,
air.
no. I'm gonna tell you, this is who getting married. It's the work husbands and wives is getting married because they getting divorced from the real husbands and wives at the crib.
Oh,
So now they ain't
okay.
gotta meet at the Meyer parking lot and get it in. Now they can just do what they gotta do instead of be, cheating at work.
Not the Meyer parking lot.
Oh yeah.
Well.
Oh
Ladies,
yeah.
listen up today
Or
because
Walmart.
one of those is a parking lot, right?
It's a parking lot.
A
Parking
parking
lot
lot.
pumping.
Oh my man. So, well, we gonna swim over to your court today because you have a lot of experience with, in the history of weddings, and we're gonna listen today. We're gonna get some great tips and information about wedding etiquette. Some things that we think should be common sense, but common sense is not common as we've established. So,
Yeah,
all right,
yeah,
sir.
yeah, yeah.
I
We're
got
gonna
my
start
pen
off.
out.
We're gonna start off with the bride.
Okay.
The bride cannot be the wedding coordinator also. Take some time, find yourself a professional wedding coordinator. Please, for the sake of all your vendors and people that's there, get yourself a professional wedding coordinator. I remember going to a wedding and we were dealing with this wedding coordinator. She was not professional at all. She might have been somebody's auntie. But she says, I've been doing weddings since 1971. I said, no, you probably didn't do a wedding since 1971. Or that was the only one you did because you could not have been in the business this long.
But give us a little details because we want to help some
See,
folk out here.
when it came time for the vendors to eat or whatnot, you're supposed to let your vendors know because a lot of time when you do a wedding, you know, you may get seated somewhere outside in the parking lot near the alley, but they generally feed you, right?
Okay.
So, she didn't have that all set, but those plates are paid for. And I remember the grooms coming up because I was like, okay, man, we're still humping and recording and stuff like that. So I said, hey, just run out and get something to eat. So we got fast food. The groom comes over and is like, dog, I paid for y'all plate, man. What you didn't want my food? My food
Mm-hmm.
wasn't good enough. I'm like, no, man. We tried to go talk to the your wedding coordinator, and she ain't had no time to talk to us. And it's like when you sit down and eat, when you're sitting down to eat, you have to get your food, scarf it down because the next event might be coming up for you to record or photograph.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's another thing. Your vendors really should eat first instead of having to wait last. You know what I'm saying? Because you want them to be able to eat or whatever and get up and be ready to rock and roll, especially when it comes to your itinerary.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's a real good point. Take care of your vendors first. Okay.
Yeah, take care of them first. And the thing is, with your wedding coordinator is supposed to be the one that has the itinerary. She knows everything. You don't have to bother. See, the bride, when the bride is the wedding coordinator also, it's like when you don't know something, you got to keep going to ask her, and she should be enjoying her day with her new boo. You know what I'm saying? You know, the new dude she about to be an ex from in about 6 months. But you want to just like, you know what I'm saying?
No, we're gonna wish them longevity and all of that.
Hey, 6 months is long now. This is the COVID era. 6 months is long, you know.
Please say it's not so. Please say it's not so.
I'm just trying to tell you. No, but seriously.
Yeah.
You want your bride not to be the wedding coordinator because you don't want to have, go ask her questions. There should be a person there that knows everything. They know what time the first dance is coming. They know what time the daddy-daughter dance, the mother-son, the bridal party dance, the cutting of the cake and all of these things, the garter toss. All the events that's going to take place should be on a timeline.
Okay.
And live up to that timeline. See, a good wedding coordinator has everybody in line. They know as soon as the wedding ceremony is over, they know the wedding party is supposed to take pictures directly after that, right? You're not trying to fish, go get, cousin Ed and, Mimi and them. If y'all was in a wedding party, as soon as this is over, me here or there, we're doing pictures. Everybody else goes to the reception.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And that's one of those things where, if you're sitting around waiting, okay, now where's such and such? Where's the kids? Where's it? You're trying to find folks, that throws everything off. Especially if the reception is not in the same venue as the ceremony, as the wedding ceremony. Okay. So if y'all got to travel, you don't have time to be looking for nobody. You got to get to where you're going to get. Some people do a cocktail hour before the reception. Some people just go directly into a reception. So you got to be on your P's and Q's. We had a situation where we were on a yacht. So the reception was on the yacht. The ceremony was like it was like a little area. I think it was on Jefferson. St. Clair show, something like that. It was on Jefferson, but it was outside. The ceremony was outside. They're messing around and ha ha ha. The boat like, yo, this is a yacht. You better get on or get left because this thing is gonna sail with or without the bride and groom. And then when you get, it's everything was timed. So that's why if you have a good wedding coordinator, they got everything flowing.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. I mean, it does. And you don't even see all those things, all of those mechanics behind the scenes at a wedding. And even what you said about, having an itinerary for the reception. Well, really, maybe, you're coordinating everything, but that's what a good coordinator does. So it seems like it could be a nightmare for any of the vendors if there's not a coordinator separate from the bride, because that makes a lot of sense. Where the bride shouldn't, that's not it is her day. It should be her day. And the beginning of it, the beginning of the day is with, if you have to do pre-ceremony pictures or video, whatever, the wedding coordinator is telling you, hey, they're over there. The men are down the hall. If they got a hotel room, she has it. The bride doesn't have time to tell you all the things that you don't know if it wasn't given to you on an itinerary. Okay.
And even if she gives you one, she still should not be the wedding coordinator, and then it's like the wedding coordinator, the wedding coordinator also should let the guests know. Uncle Charles with his disposable camera that he found somewhere. Where the hell did Uncle Charles get a disposable camera in 2021? Where did he get this one? Where did he find the flash at? The little cube that go on top and you just go. Dude looking like Kumo D. He got the black shades on, the purple suit, and he got the hat. And I'm like, dude, you're standing right in front of the camera too. You know, he was right in front of my video camera. I'm just like, oh man, dude, can you move? He's just like,
oh man, no.
Oh man. Oh man. My homie was looking at him like, man, can you believe it?
And and some of those moments that you just can't get back, they pop up.
Just like that.
Just you know, like that.
You know, he got his butt up there in the middle of the aisle. I was like, dude, you sit down. You were here as a guest. You're not paid to do this. And what brides and grooms don't understand is when you allow your family to do that and get in the way, certain shots are missed. It's not the photographer's or the videographer's fault. It's your fault for not telling your people to sit their butt down. Mm-hmm. You know, mm-hmm. and I've even had it where the minister, right, before he started, he just told everybody, put your phones down. We don't need you shooting video. We don't need you doing a Facebook Live. We don't need you doing none of that. You were not paid to do any of this. Nobody should have a phone up to their face. You should be enjoying and respecting the day of the people you came to see. Everybody's so quick to be like,
oh yeah. Oh yeah.
them long nails, like
well, you know, that's the norm now. Everything goes on social media. So these are instructions that should be given and emphasized on with the guests, because now the norm is to do that. Norm is to pull out the phone and put everything.
You know, and as a vendor, you know, I mean, you can say it, man, I don't care. I'm getting paid anyway. But, you know, you're paid to do a service for the bride and groom and the family or whatnot. And a lot of times, you know, these people are in the way. You know, and it's funny when you look back when you're editing video or whatever, and all you see is this.
Right.
You know, it's like, well, how can you enjoy the wedding if you're trying to work the wedding?
Yeah. And then again, like we say, common sense is not always common. So people have to be told, because they don't think. They don't think.
And then if you know you about to be, you know you getting married. Just say it's 2021. 2022, you know you're getting married, right? We know that 2022. Hey, you know the time, you know the venue, you know that, you know everything. Why you late? And you know, the bridal party should all be rounded up in the hotel room. Can't nobody leave. You know, if your significant other was not blessed to be cool with us enough to be inside of the wedding party, tell him or her to sit their jealous butt down, because you got to be up here with us. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know, they blame it on the bachelorette and the bachelor party the night before, if they even do that anymore.
Hey, blame it on whatever you want to blame it on, but you know, 4 o'clock, the wedding's supposed to start. 4. Not 4:30, 4:45, 6, 4. You know what I'm saying?
So did you find that was the case, that most weddings do not start on time?
Yeah, the majority of them. I don't care if they black, white, Asian. You know, because you know, a lot of folks like, man, black weddings never start on time. No wedding starts on time. None of them.
Wow.
None of them. Wow. let's just no wedding starts today. You know, I did a wedding out in Gross Ill at the yacht club, right? Hey, everything was going smooth until somebody left the bride's veil at the hotel. So they ran back to go get it. On the way back, got caught by the long ass slow train.
Oh.
So, you know, it's like everything needs to be packed up. And your wedding coordinator makes, you know, they're the ones that tell you, hey, they got a checklist. Yo, you got this, you got this, and they keep everything smooth. So wedding coordinators are worth their weight in gold. When they know what they're doing, you know, when they know.
So checklist to keep it smooth, and wedding coordinators are our top 2 takeaways from so far. And also, and just in time and respecting the time.
Yeah, and tell Uncle Charles to sit his butt down with that disposable camera. I'm telling you, you got to sit down.
So you know what though, this is a good point because I don't know where they get the disposable cameras from now, but I have heard brides say that they put the disposable cameras on each table so that everybody can give a different view of or different perspective of the wedding. But then what you're saying is, go ahead.
I mean, and that's cool if that's the thing, you know, because you want that, you know, you want that, but they shouldn't be in the aisles where you know what I'm saying, you give that different perspective from your seat. Don't jump up in the middle of the aisles where, you know, the videographer and the photographer are traversing, you know, because, you know, you're trying to get angles. Everything is constant movement, and you're trying to get these angles. You're trying to make sure that this bride sees herself as the queen she thought she was going to be that day, and you want to recapture that moment perfectly. You want it better than perfect. Audio has to, you know, when it comes to video, audio has to be sharp, you know, because without audio, your video is garbage, right? And the video, the picture has to be good, so you got to have proper lighting in there, even if you have to bring some lighting to make it better. And a lot of times, the bridegroom, whoever, the wedding coordinator, they don't tell you ahead of time, hey, this is not a well-lit place. So as a vendor, you just got to bring as much equipment as you possibly can carry just to be on the safe side.
Okay. So, wow, what was your most memorable experience doing the video or the pictures of a wedding?
I remember screwing up a wedding. Woo! Missed one moment. You know, he was like, you know, he said, hey, what I want you to do is when my wife is walking down, I want to be mic'd up. And, you know, as I'm coming down, I'm going to say, wow. You know, because he was a videographer too. So, you know, it's extra pressure now. So he said, wow, you know, forgot to put the mic was not turned on.
Wow.
You know, my help, the person I was supposed to be with, you know, that day did not come. So I was running everything by myself. And then they started a half hour early.
Wow. So that's different.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's real different.
Yep.
Wow, they weren't playing. They were on time. Wow. So, okay.
So basically, I gave him half his money back, the whole 9 yards. It's like, hey, it is what it is.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Ooh, has to be enjoyable to do those weddings, but also a tedious job.
It's pressure. It's a lot of pressure because, you know, I had a situation where Adobe Premiere sucks as a video editing software.
Okay.
You know, in the middle of editing a video, it did an update and it baked a glitch inside the permanent files. So when the bride and groom, and it was like, man, you did it at the most inopportune time. It didn't bake a glitch anywhere else, but when the bride and groom were talking, and it ain't no way around it.
Ouch.
Oh man, it threw it off. It killed a couple frames of video. So now the audio and the video did not sync up together, and it was no fix. And I went with a minimalist setup. Okay. So I didn't take extra cameras. You know, had I taken extra cameras and got other angles, I could have fixed it.
So this is a good in-depth look on the other side of the camera and all that it takes to put a production together, whether it's a wedding or a documentary or rather anything. Whatever it is, it's a lot of behind the scenes work to make it all happen. Right. Wow. Yes, wow. Well, what are some other things you'd like to share with our people about wedding etiquette?
Is what, you know, as far as we talked about the ceremony, people not being in the way and this and that and the other, right? And you know, that's cool. Once you get through the wedding ceremony, then you go over to the reception. Now, when you get to the reception, this is where the wedding coordinator really plays a big role in my estimate, you know, in my opinion. She comes in, she's telling you, hey, they're coming through this door right here. So we're set up here. They're coming through this door. They're walking this way. So she's letting you know everything. So you can do everything perfectly. You can get the pictures, the video, the whole 9 yards. Then she's telling you, hey, as soon as this happens, this is the next event. So, you know, all the things where, like I said, the first dance, the mom and son, the daddy and the daughter, the bridal party dance, the whole 9 yards. Those things should all be done in the beginning, because once you start waiting for a while, people done got the little liquor in their system. Ain't nobody paying attention to nothing. It's a full-blown party at that time. And it's, you know, then so a lot of people may have left, you know, so it will behoove them to do everything in the beginning. Just get it all out the way. All the, you know, the cake cutting. Oh yeah, let's talk about the cake cutting too. You know, everybody's trying to crowd around to see, you know, the process, you know, seeing how it goes and plays out. But as the photographer and the videographer, usually what happens is the photographer is giving directions to the bride and groom, how to cut, yo, stop here, this, and the other. The videographer is just making sure that he or she records that whole moment. Unlike photography, you know, it's the whole moment, you know. Okay, now you got the cousin, you know, the hood rat squad. They done got up, you know, they done took the shoes off now because, you know, they ready to party with, you know, extra long nails on the toes or whatnot. So they
not the toes.
You know, they done jumped up here and, you know, and you're like, excuse me, are you in my way? You know, they turn around looking at you like you're crazy. I'm like, look, and literally at one of the events, one of the bridesmaids was like, would you get out the way? You know, and I'm like, man, because I'm standing here with the camera. It's like, yo, and you don't want to get into it with nobody's family.
Right.
And be unprofessional. Be like, hey, excuse me.
Right.
I'm glad she was there because she's like, get out the way. Get out the way. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
you always need that family member. You always need that family member.
You always love that family member. He's like,
yes,
and you know, and you can see they mean too. Like,
excuse me. Yes. Yes, I love that family member right there.
Yeah, man.
Now they can handle the wedding coordination if you know if you don't have a wedding coordinator.
Hey, the wedding coordinator has to be very firm because they got to make things move along just like that, because the bride and groom should not have to answer a question about any of the things going on. Right. They should just be sitting there enjoying the moment, smiling when they hit the glass, ding, 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 and they kiss and all this other stuff, ding, 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 they kiss again. You know, because look, they only got 6 months. They ain't gonna be together after 6 months.
Look, I'm telling you, if you do it right, it can last. If you do that interrogation and you abstain again and you do all those things, you gonna last more than 6 months. But go ahead.
It's cool though. I mean, I joke, and you know, and it's cool to see, you know, folks getting married, especially in this day and age where people are casting love to the side and saying that it, you know, hey, marriage is a business now. Yeah. You know, if you're going into that frame of thought with as marriage is a business, don't get married. Just sign a contract with one another. Just put down the amount of times you're gonna have sex a month, what bills y'all each gonna pay, and make it a business venture. Because if you're looking at it as a business and there's no love involved in a marriage, why are we getting married?
Right. Yeah.
You know, or just how about you live where you live, I live where I live, and then we get together when we get that urge, and then we just go our separate ways. It doesn't make sense. If you're not going to do it for love, don't get married.
Right. Yeah.
But, you know, but the wedding coordinator, he or she is like the most important individual besides the bride and groom. You know, they keep order.
That's good. That's really good. So I guess, you know, is there anything or any other tips that you would give somebody because I have a daughter that's getting married in October, and I'm going to take her this list of stuff this is going to be some of my contribution, the wedding coordinator and, and making sure to take care of the vendors. And actually she's doing a Vegas, some kind of Vegas theme or something like that. And I think they, put the coordinator in place and all of that, they're just the packages that you get or whatever. I'm learning that from her.
Oh, well, you know what? If they did a package like that, I guarantee you that wedding coordinator, because I did a wedding at the Little Chapel, and at the Little Chapel on Mile and 13 Mile, I believe, man, I swear to God, you only get 3.2 seconds for the ceremony. It ran like clockwork because as soon as you're done, another wedding is coming in.
They didn't book it, right?
They're trying to maximize that small space, that short amount of time, and they're trying to get their max for the minimum. And it moves. But you know what? You got to appreciate it, because at least when you walk up, you know what's going on. Oh, another thing, you got videographers. Let your videographers know if they can come early or not, because I, for one, when I get to a wedding, if the wedding starts at 4:30, I would prefer to get there about 2:30, so I can set up, do my walkthrough, and I can ease into. I can get everything, my lights set up, my audio, and I can take my time. I'm not rushing.
Yes.
Let your vendors know if they can come early or not. That way, if I was given 20 minutes at the Little Chapel to set up my wedding gear.
Okay.
So knowing this, I still got there early and I set up my equipment outside. So now all I gotta do is just take it in.
Oh, wow. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
yes, at
least if you tell me, you tell the vendor, they can be prepared for whatever comes.
So tell us a little bit more about your business. We're going to promote you today, Mr. Cherrard, because you're very knowledgeable about your business, and so talk a little bit about the services that you provide, and what your vision for your company is today.
Well, Co-Enterprises Multimedia, fortunately for myself, does not do wedding videos or photography anymore.
Okay.
No more of those headaches. No, but I do second shooter work. I'll go and help out my partner or whatever, partner of mine, when he does his weddings. But for me, it's just basically portraiture, headshots for my photography side. For the video side of what I do is mostly podcasting, documentary work. We got my apparel company. My apparel company is going to be the Black Love Gang Apparel Company. And we also have a Black Love Gang nonprofit organization that's going to mentor young boys. We're going to teach young boys how to love themselves, first. And once we teach them how to love each other, love themselves first, we're going to teach young Black boys how to love other Black boys, stop looking at them as an enemy. So we got some things in the works coming for 2021 and beyond.
Awesome. So you said second shooter work, headshots, and there's one other, because I want to list it in the description below, and also let everybody know how they can get in contact with you should they want to utilize your services. Okay.
I do portraiture work. So basically is I like to do one-on-one shoots. Not too much family and babies. Ooh, can't do babies. I love babies. I love them, but babies determine if you're going to have a good day or not. You don't tell them when to be ready to shoot. They'll let you know when they're ready.
Baby boss, I'm telling you.
Oh man, babies. No, if they fold the arms on you, it's a done deal. Once they start crying or and if they want mama, and that's it. You just, it's a wrap. So, I applaud those people that specialize in doing children, because they are good. They be on the ground and, rolling in the grass and coming with these props, making the babies comfortable. I'm just like, hey, get over here. I'm coming in like that. Hey, man, hey, smile, man.
That's why they do this to you. It's like, you're not gonna get in the dirt for me? Okay, I'm gonna show you. You want no lollipop for me? I'm gonna show you.
You get mad, like, I just go over and just push them down. I'm like, man, that's what you get, man. You know.
There you go. There you go. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. So you better be prepared for them babies. So in our final words for the day about wedding etiquette, and I thank you because I think that's a very, very, especially right now, everybody's, some people just don't know. And some of this you just taught me too about, a written itinerary. I think that's really good. I don't know what my daughter's doing about I don't know how they're doing the reception. I think there are places out there, and what she showed me was so pretty, like, skylight and I don't know what it's going to look like in October, but I don't know what it's looking in Vegas, but it's just a beautiful, beautiful chapel there. And then the reception is after that, and they have the whole 9 all, mapped out and everything.
I'm quite sure they probably have their things down to the minute. That's a business, they have a business, and that's coming with a wedding coordinator. I'm quite sure he or she runs that thing like a clock.
Yeah, the one thing they didn't coordinate is the mama attire, and she tried to put me in a mama dress. That wasn't going to happen. That wasn't going to work.
well, mama can't try to outshine the bride now, because I've seen that. Hey, look,
mama didn't want to outshine the bride, not at all. But this mama though, it's not that mama.
Hey, I've seen
the ruffles up to here, and I'm like,
you don't got the big hat, like the big old hat with the fruit in it.
I was like, but this is what that's not this mama. Just give me a little pizzazz. So yeah, I got a little pizzazz. I'm good though. It's up here. It's really we finally decided, but yeah. So that's one of the tips too. Make sure that y'all on the same page.
Oh yeah, no. I've seen the mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
She came through. Hey, she came to set the place on fire. Oh, she's like, look at me. She stepped in, and she came in a limo too.
That wasn't her day. It wasn't her day. The mother-in-law.
I said, damn, she got a chauffeur. Whoa.
Marry my baby, I'm gonna do this right. But weddings are funny and weddings are so
very memorable.
So
very memorable.
Those are those milestone occasions, that you go back and you rewind and you rewind and rewind. I mean, my wedding and my reception was more fun than the marriage, so y'all don't do that either. That's not a good one either.
Hey, I can remember my wedding nightmare.
You said wedding nightmare. Maybe that's the next podcast. Wedding nightmares.
Hey, wedding nightmares. Wedding nightmares.
Well, anyway, you have any final words to wrap us up with today, sir?
Just basically don't cheap out, especially when it comes to your vendors. Don't try to get, Pookie and them to do it for the low. Pay somebody. If you want professional work, pay a professional price for it. Make sure your wedding coordinator is A1, and the bride and the groom should not be bothered about what's going on, where we eating, where we sitting, and this and that and the other. Let the bride enjoy her day, because too many women will try to take over and be all that they can be in the army or whatnot. They're trying to get out. They're trying to get. I tell you, hey, black women especially suffer from that superwoman complex. I'm getting married. Hey, I need you over here. This is all during the wedding, and you go over there. She trying to coordinate up there. I do. Hey, you get over there too.
That's
it's like
the bridezilla. That's the bridezilla, the controller.
Hey. I love my sisters. I love y'all. But man, when we tell y'all what y'all can't do, watch me. Y'all want to see us back in the boxing ring? I mean, we did the swimming pool today. Y'all want to see us back in the boxing ring? Hey, I'm telling you, I love y'all sisters, man. I love y'all. Y'all can't do everything though. Sometimes it's physically impossible based on physics, anatomy, and biology. You can't do everything.
We will concede today to the wedding coordinator and make sure that she's paid properly.
Yes.
And so
hold on, you gotta be gender correct in our times. He or she is paid properly as the wedding coordinator.
I stand corrected. He or she.
Or unicorn.
We're not even going there. We about to. Don't forget, y'all. We ain't thinking about him right now. Like, share, subscribe. Share this information with somebody else. Bye for now. Don't forget to stay fearless.